All right, get ready, because today we're going to dive deep, really deep, into the world of Paleolithic people.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
But, and here's the kicker, we're not talking about those amazing cave paintings. Those are incredible, of course, but we're focusing on something even more mind-blowing.
Even more mind-blowing than cave paintings. Okay, you've got my attention.
We're talking about a map, but not just any map.
I'm listening.
A 13,000-year-old 3D map. Can you believe that?
13,000 years old? That's incredible.
That makes it the oldest 3D map ever discovered.
Wow, older than...
It's shattering the previous record by a mind-boggling 10,000 years.
10,000 years? That's just, wow.
So tell me, what's the story behind this incredible discovery?
Well, this groundbreaking find comes straight from a brand new article published this week by the University of Adelaide.
Okay.
And it details this amazing 3D map, which was found carved right into the floor.
The floor.
Yeah, of the Séguignol 3 rock shelter in France. You might have heard of it.
Oh, yeah, the Séguignol 3. That's the one famous for those Paleolithic horse engravings.
Right, exactly. 2 horses flanking a female symbol.
That's the one.
But this map, a 3D map from that era, it's mind-blowing. It's completely changing everything we thought we knew about the Paleolithic period.
Yeah, about how they saw the world, what they knew.
And about what they were capable of.
I know, it's challenging all our preconceived notions about well, everything.
Absolutely. I mean, this isn't your typical map showing, trails or landmarks. It's more like a miniature model of the landscape surrounding the shelter.
So they weren't just trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B. They were doing something more.
Much more. In fact, the researchers are calling it a hydrological model, which basically means it's showing how water flows and shapes the land.
So like rivers and streams, that sort of thing.
Exactly. It shows everything. Highlands, valleys merging together, streams, how they flow down, even the formation of lakes and swamps.
So these Paleolithic people, they had a really deep understanding of how water moved and interacted with everything around them.
Oh, absolutely. And not just observing it, but remember that word, engineered.
Engineered. Right. Okay, so they were doing more than just mapping the water flow, weren't they? They were actually shaping it. Right?
They were. The researchers actually found evidence that they intentionally modified the sandstone within the shelter to actually direct where the water flowed.
Wait, so they were like manipulating their environment to actually work with the natural flow of water?
They were. It's incredible. It's next level thinking.
That's just mind-blowing. I mean, when I think of, Paleolithic, I think of like hunting, gathering, maybe some basic tools.
Yeah, that's the image we all have.
But this map shows us something different. It shows us people who are incredibly observant and knowledgeable.
And not just observant, but incredibly forward-thinking.
Okay, so we've got this incredible map, a glimpse into the minds of people who lived over 13,000 years ago. A map that challenges everything we thought we knew about them, what they were capable of, and how they saw the world.
And it really underscores how important it is to approach these sites with an open mind and to collaborate across different disciplines like this discovery. It wouldn't have been possible without archaeologists, geologists, and geomorphologists all working together, each bringing their own unique expertise to the table.
Absolutely. And speaking of expertise, I can't help but wonder about this mention of, deeper, potentially mythical meanings associated with water.
Yeah, that caught my eye too.
I mean, the article points out that this map, it's located very close to a rock formation shaped like female genitalia, and they seem to think that that might not be a coincidence.
Right, and it raises the question of whether, for these people, water, especially as it's represented in this map, had a deeper symbolic meaning for them. Was it more than just a resource? Was it possibly tied to something more profound, like fertility or creation, those kinds of concepts?
Okay, so we've got this incredibly detailed 3D map, evidence of sophisticated water management, and maybe even hints of a belief system intertwined with the landscape. Where do we go from here?
Well, I think it's time we really dig into the specifics of this map and see what it can tell us about the ingenuity of these early engineers of the Paleolithic era.
Sounds like a plan. Let's unpack it.
You know what's really amazing about this discovery?
What's that?
It's pushing back the timeline for 3D mapping by like a whopping 10,000 years.
10,000 years? Really? Wow, that's just, I can't even wrap my head around that.
It's incredible, right?
I mean, before this, the oldest 3D map we knew of was from the Bronze Age, right?
Right.
Like a mere 3,000 years old.
Yeah, and that one, it was all about navigation. Showing a river network and earth mounds, clearly meant to help people get around.
Right. Practical stuff.
Exactly. Practical.
But this Séguignol 3 map, it's different, isn't it?
Oh, it's totally different. It's less about, getting from one place to another and more about like understanding.
Understanding.
Yeah, understanding how water shapes the world around us, the very essence of it.
I see. So it's a shift in thinking then, would you say?
I think so, yeah.
From a more practical, like utilitarian approach to mapping, in the Bronze Age
Yeah.
to something, I don't know, something a bit more holistic in the Paleolithic.
I think that's a great way to put it. You have to remember that during the Paleolithic era, water, it was life.
Right. Essential.
Essential, yeah. Knowing where it flowed, where it pooled, how it carved out the land.
Crucial for survival.
Absolutely crucial. So this map, it wasn't just like a tool to get from point A to point B. It was a way for them to understand the lifeblood of their world,
To connect with it on a deeper level.
Yeah, exactly. And not just comprehend it, but remember what we talked about, how they engineered the sandstone?
Right, to guide the water flow.
Exactly. I mean, the article even talks about how they channeled water inside and outside the shelter.
Really?
It's amazing. It suggests a level of, I don't know, symbiotic thinking.
Symbiotic.
Yeah, like they weren't just adapting to the environment, they were shaping it to meet their needs.
It's like a partnership.
A partnership, yeah, not just about survival. It was about thriving.
Right, thriving, working with nature.
Yeah, working with nature. And, we've been talking about these skilled engineers, but let's not forget the artists.
The artists, right. The horse engravings.
Those incredible horses.
2 horses so meticulously carved, flanking a female symbol.
It's like they were saying, hey, we're not just practical people. We appreciate beauty. We create beauty,
It's like a different dimension to them.
Exactly. It speaks to a worldview where art and nature and practicality, it was all intertwined,
Mm-hmm. And remember that the researchers think that they, the Paleolithic people, they intentionally shaped the sandstone to direct the water flow.
Yeah.
In a way that mirrored the female form.
It's incredible.
It's almost like the shelter itself became a canvas for their artistic expression.
I think that's a great way to look at it. It blurs the lines, between art and engineering, between function and symbolism.
Yeah, makes you think.
It does. It reminds you that for these ancient people, life wasn't compartmentalized the way it is for us today,
Right. Everything was connected.
Everything was connected.
And there's that quote from one of the researchers in the article.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Talking about the mythical meanings associated with water.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, they seem to think that there's layers of understanding that we might never fully grasp,
That's the beauty and the frustration of archaeology.
Yeah.
We can piece together fragments of the past.
Yeah.
But the complete picture, it always seems to be just out of reach.
Like trying to solve a puzzle with some pieces missing.
Exactly. We have to use our imagination, our intuition, to try to fill in those gaps.
And this 3D map, it's one of those pieces, isn't it?
It is. It's a crucial one.
Yeah, it challenges everything we thought we knew about the past.
It reminds us that human ingenuity has been around for a very long time.
That these were people who lived in harmony with nature.
Who understood it, who understood its rhythms, its power.
And who left behind a legacy that continues to inspire us today.
I love that it's not just a relic of the past, it's a window into the minds of our ancestors, and it makes us rethink our own relationship with nature, art, technology, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a call to action, I think, a challenge to keep exploring, keep questioning, to never close our minds to the unexpected.
Because who knows what other wonders are out there just waiting to be unearthed.
You got that right.
And speaking of wonders, there's one more aspect of this discovery that I think we should talk about. Something that might bring us even closer to understanding how these Paleolithic artists and engineers saw the world. We've talked about this incredible map as a hydrological model, evidence of their engineering skills, even as a canvas for their art.
Right.
But one thing that really struck me in the article is that this map, it wasn't created, just on its own.
It's all part of a bigger picture, right?
Yeah, it's part of a larger story.
It's woven into the fabric of that shelter, the Seguinul 3 shelter itself.
Exactly. And that shelter, it already had a story to tell with those horse engravings.
Oh, absolutely. Those engravings are just remarkable.
2 horses flanking a female symbol.
Powerful imagery.
It's like the engravings in the map and the way they engineered the water flow, they're all telling us something.
They are. It's like they're all part of a single narrative.
Yeah, like a story they were trying to pass down.
It makes you think, what if we look at that shelter as a stage?
Okay, a stage.
And the map, the engravings, the way the water flowed, they're all elements of a performance.
Performance.
Yeah, performance that's designed to communicate something, something deep about how they saw their world.
So what message were they trying to get across? What story were they telling?
That's the question, isn't it?
A big question.
But I think the answer, it might be in how all these elements come together.
Okay, I'm following.
We have this incredibly detailed map showing how well they understood the landscape, their ability to actually work with nature.
Right, and those beautiful horse engravings,
A powerful symbol.
maybe representing, power or freedom or even a connection to the animal world, a spiritual connection.
And then you have that deliberate shaping of the sandstone to mirror the female form.
Yeah, it's almost like a reverence for femininity, for creation.
For life itself.
It's like they're saying, this is our world, this is how we fit into it, we're connected to the land, the animals, everything.
It's a powerful message, and it's amazing how it still resonates, after all these years.
It's a reminder that, at the end of the day, we're not so different from those who came before us.
We all want to understand our place in the world.
To find meaning in it all.
Exactly.
So what does this mean for us, for the people listening?
I think it's an invitation to look deeper, to go beyond the surface, and to realize that even something as simple as a map.
A map.
Yeah, a map can hold these incredible insights into the human experience.
And that the past, it's not really gone, it's still alive.
It's in the stories we tell, the connections we make.
And the ways we explore and understand the world around us.
Exactly.
So next time you see a map, don't just think about where it's leading you. Think about the stories it holds, the people who made it, the world they lived in.
You might be surprised by what you find.
Because in those lines, those contours, you might just find a piece of yourself. And on that note, we're going to wrap up our deep dive into this incredible discovery, the world's oldest 3D map. But the journey doesn't end here. Keep exploring, keep those minds open, and who knows what other wonders are waiting to be discovered out there.